Obviously, it's been a big season for you here, lots of success, and a big moment for you here. So just talk about your excitement level and what this experience has been like for you this season.
Yeah, it's been cool. The back-to-back, I mean, I've experienced closer, but yeah, the training camps is probably what take the most toll on the body and just the weight cuts. But other than that, I mean, fighting back-to-back is I've experienced that, but I mean, glad to be here, glad to be in this position. So.
How have you found the adjustment? Because it's always interesting. Like every fighter says they want to stay busy, right? And then they get the schedule, and it's tough, right? It's grueling, but at least you have dates on the calendar that are coming up, right? So, I mean, how have you found the pros and the cons of this format?
I mean, I love it. I mean, it takes a lot of mental stress from different standpoints. You don't have to worry about your schedule from the moment you step out, or before you even step in. When your next one is, if you win, or when in the season, that when that next one is, at least the first two. So I mean, it takes a lot of alleviates a lot of stress as far as knowing when your schedule is gonna be, and especially after that first couple of weeks after a fight, right? And you're fighting in different formats. You kind of get that after that win or that loss kind of settles. You're like, you want to get back in, which happens pretty quick, But luckily, you don't have to deal with that right now.
Yeah. This run that you've been on has been very impressive, man. Maybe fighting as good as you have throughout your entire career. What do you think is the difference right now, or has been clicking, or what's been the key to success of this run?
Just constant growth. Things that I've worked on mentally, physically, years prior. It's coming out now. There's like I had a quick transition with moving to Vegas, and in that period of time, a lot of things happen. A lot of transitions happen with moving, and then taking last minute fights. It probably wasn't the best decisions back then, and then just getting comfortable with the team, and we're here now. I would say almost 4 years later to the anniversary of my UFC debut in a main event in Washington, D.C. One fight away from a title shot. So you can't go wrong with that.
No doubt about it. You face some big names. Obviously, you got another one here in front of you. What do you think about the matchup itself? Stylistically, it looks like could be a pretty fun fight.
Yeah, I believe so. Athletically, and IQ, speed. There's a lot of things that we both have characteristically, and I think it'll end up a pretty good fight.
Nice. Last thing for me, you can't look too far ahead, right? You got to take care of this fight first. But you talked about the struggles, to get there. Now, possibility of being a champion. Just what would it mean for you to close out this year? The $1 million, I'm sure, would be nice, but then the title as well.
Oh, that would be awesome. Just to be the number one guy in PFL. It'll represent a lot of things. I think it'll talk a lot on many different facets of the sport. Like it'll help guys in free agency. It'll help guys in different situations kind of look at everything. If they followed my story, if they followed Brendan's story, they'll see that. You just don't give up.
Hey, Kai. You're fighting alongside your cousin Ray Cooper on this card. You guys have shared your journey together, seen everything from start to finish. How does it feel looking back now, knowing that you both are here and you've made it?
It's pretty surreal. I think this night, Friday night, this whole week is a dream come true for me. I don't know. I think it would have been a lot cooler for me, at least, that if he was a main event, but I mean, it can't go wrong. I'm the main event. We're both headlining both portions of the card. Somebody that I looked up to, and then just to be in this spot this week is a dream come true. The whole process. So, but I mean, make no mistake, Friday night we both got jobs to do.
So you got that playoff jersey, that custom playoff jersey. I think Jeremy Kennedy back there is rocking it.
Mm-hmm.
Where did the idea from that come? Because it does make sense. You're in the playoffs. You should have your own little custom gear.
I've done it since Bellator 300. I've kind of done something. like a jersey for every fight, just something fun everybody can work out in. But yeah, that one I got the number 4, fourth seed. You know, that just made sense. USA, we're in DC Summer Olympics, and yeah, I mean that's all it was. I'm the, I think in my weight class I'm the only fighter from the US, so you know, it made sense.
So you were there at UFC 303 to help Dan Ige make history when he stepped in on just hours' notice for the fight. Just break that down from your perspective. What was your day like for that?
I mean, my week was crazy. I just thought it ended when I got home, won against Pedro Carvalho, and then I got a text like maybe, I would say like 2:30. I got like 2 missed calls from Eric, and I thought, like, you know, we're about to enjoy our family, so what could be, what's up? And he said, call me right away. You got to call me right away. So I called him when I see my phone. I'm in the pool. I was having like a get together with my family. I'm in the pool with my kids, so I called him right away, and all he says is, hey, Dan's gonna fight Diego Lopez tonight. You gotta be ready to go. I'm like, okay. Yeah, and then from there, I mean, 4 o'clock came around, and then just things got more serious. I mean, I didn't believe it until even driving up. I mean, we were in the car. We were pulling up to the T-Mobile. And then I always tell people this story since that day, is we're pulling up to the arena, and the security guard right at the T-Mobile is like, "What is your name?" You know, to like let us in the gate. And Ali like leans over the front seat. He goes, "Brother, we don't have much time." And then boom, we just go, we park, once we park, we get out. Heidi comes running up to the car. There's a bunch of cameras come running up, and I'm like, okay, this is real. So I mean, and then everything from there was like, yeah, it was a pretty cool experience. I think everybody had their own cool story that week, which is pretty cool. Coach Eddie, he was doing film study right away. He just landed from my fight. Eric, he just came from the previous fight. Herzog seen me in the back. He was like, "What do you guys do?" He was just in South Dakota too. Cooper Neal. So everybody had different stories. Mine was cool. I got to fight the day before. I was a little bit. I had like a little black eye, so I didn't want to show it in the beginning. But after a while, I was like, "Fuck this! Take these shades off." And freaking, I don't know if you guys see me in the back. I'm like wearing shades when I first walk in, and then when I got in, I'm like, "Fuck this! Throw these shades off. We're fucking doing this."
So to end it on a calm note, you've never been to DC before this. How has your trip been so far? What are some of the things you've done while you're here?
Oh, it's been cool. I've been like just burning some calories walking around. We ran to the Abraham Lincoln Memorial yesterday. But yeah, it's cool to see the city. Checked out the Bible Museum. So yeah, it's cool to. I've never been here, but it's cool to see so much history for the country here.
Thank you.
What's up, Kai? How you doing?
What's up, dude?
That was a good Ali impression. One other thing you did while you've been here in DC, I saw that you went to Alexandria Boxing Club with Ray and Eddie Baraka. How was that experience this week?
Oh, it's pretty cool. I mean, we got to go. What was it? Fight for Children Foundation. I keep asking everybody. Yeah, and we got to, you know, the PFL kind of works with them, and it was cool to experience see a gym at a real infancy of these kids working out, and just have like a lifetime ahead of them. You know, that one of them even asked us like, how, can I be in the PFL? And you know, and he was so young, so young, and it's just like, man, it's cool to see like these guys at that stage in their career again. Talking to the coach, real old school boxing guy. It was cool experience, and yeah, it just kind of broke up fight week a little bit, bring you back, you know, kind of give you thinking about your own childhood of where you're at that age. I mean, I grew up USA wrestling, so it was still cool to see. I grew up wrestling and boxing, kickboxing, football, but then those kids that that are full on in boxing. It's cool to see them at that age.
Mm-hmm. And one of my questions for Ray, I said the word retirement. I wasn't saying anything about him retiring, but I said the word. He shut me down real quick. He said he wants to win numerous more championships before the end of his career. Do you envision your cousin going back into the season format next year and contending for another PFL World Championship belt?
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of debating about going, or he wanted to be in a tournament this year. I guess timing didn't work out with that Jason Jackson fight. And yeah, I do. If there's anybody that would believes that he's one of the top guys in the world, top 5 when he's at his best, it's me. He just, the past couple of years, there's a lot of things that happen in our family, in our personal life, and he's had to deal with. So it's the rate that you've been seeing. It wasn't due to a lack of love for fighting. It was just his mind had to be divided.
Mm-hmm. There was a lot of uncertainty at first with the merger between Bellator and PFL. Not many people knew what was going on. But now that you've settled in, you're here in D.C. this week fighting for an opportunity to reach the $1 million PFL Featherweight Championship Finals. All things considered, are you happy with the merge and how everything's worked out so far in the last year?
I mean, I'm happy the way it worked out for me, because there's a lot of guys that, their careers are uncertain right after the merger. Henry Corrales, the last guy I fought, I think he's no longer signed. We talked in Saudi Arabia prior to his fight. Kind of forced him into taking that fight. They asked me to take that fight when I was in Hawaii for 2 weeks. So I mean, it was sticky, it was funky. So it worked out for who it worked out for, and it didn't for other guys. So you just gotta, when that kind of stuff happens, you have to be in a good stint. You have to be doing well, because this sport is can take turns at any time.
Mm-hmm. It moves fast for sure. Shortly after that merger, they did announce the season. They announced the featherweight bracket, and you, of course, saw Brendan Loughane's name. When you saw his name, is he someone you envisioned fighting, someone you envisioned fighting in the playoffs? And do you feel like he's one of the tougher guys, not only in this division, but in the sport in general?
Yeah, I mean, consistently he's been here, right? 5 years? He's won once. So yeah, you want to fight somebody like Brendan Loughnane if you're gonna come to the PFL. That's the guy you want to fight. That's somebody that they push. So if you want that push, you gotta take out Brendan Loughnane. That's somebody that I'm glad that I'm getting to fight him in this run. You don't want to skip a guy like that in the run like this.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of that run, I spoke to Coach James Gifford last week in Florida, and he said you look real dangerous in the gym, better than ever. I know it's a little bit cliche. Everybody says I'm in my prime. This is the best I've ever felt. But is this the best you've ever felt? Are you truly hitting a new stride in recent months?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, you're in the gym this long, in a season format, and if you're able to show some growth in that short time with fighting back to back, that's got to be good. But yeah, I've been grinding, man. I've been grinding since since I came onto the scene. I haven't really left. I've just made gains all the way through, and I've shown different ways to fight. I can fight different styles of fights, different guys. So I mean, that's all due to growing in the gym. There's a progression still going. I realize my flaws. I constantly work on them. But yeah, I mean, to this point, this is the best that I felt. Even this season, this is the best I felt going into a fight.
Mm-hmm. I see JBC, Bellator featherweight behind me. Who else is going to be joining him in your corner? Is it going to be Nixick and Baraka?
Yeah.
Would you say you feel extremely confident going into war with these people by your side?
Yeah, I mean, we've been traveling and beating the guys that we gotta beat consistently. So that, I mean, and we're not a fool of ourselves on the guys that we face. Look at the guys that we face. Look at who they face. You know what I mean? And we're right there, if not beating them. So I mean, yeah, and right after these fights, I mean, we're real critical of ourselves. right after and then when we get back in the gym Monday, we're constantly going back and forth on what gotta get done, what we did well. But we're not a fool of ourselves. Like, we're in this position for a reason. You know what I mean? Like, a couple fights ago, a lot of people didn't think I was gonna beat Bubba Jenkins. So I mean, yeah, I mean, we're here now, but we knew.
Mm-hmm. And that's all that matters, that you guys knew. On the topic of the gym, we've seen a lot of champions coming in and out of Extreme Couture, bringing belts back. Patchy Mix, of course, in Bellator, then Francis Ngannou, UFC heavyweight champion, and then Sean Strickland recently. What would it mean to you to be able to bring back a PFL championship back to your coaches and teammates at XC?
It would be crazy. I mean, I don't even realize it because all of us are just constantly in the gym. I mean, if you walk in Extreme Couture throughout the week, you see the same guys, and these are the guys at the highest level. These are world champions walking in and out the doors every day, multiple times a day. They're not. It's not like it's a gym where you're waiting till that next guy pops up. These guys are constantly working. We're all Patchy Mix, Sarabusi, Sean, Mansoor. Everybody's high on Mansoor. For a reason, but it's a good energy. We have so much guys. The Daniel Zahuber, Myron Santos. I mean, you walk in there. I mean, you train long enough in there, you're gonna do good things. I mean, the numbers are speaking for itself, and I think it's just credit to just the room that we have. Everybody loves being in the gym, and yeah, it's a good environment to be in.
Another guy you probably see in the gym pretty often is PFL President Ray Sefo. What is it like to see kind of like your boss in the gym every day when you're training for fights for his promotion? And is it a cool thing? Is it something like it's cool to see the boss in the gym going in there with the guys and having such easy access to Ray Sefo?
Yeah, I mean, he's so close that like talking to him, I feel like I don't have to have to beg him for answers. On things. I mean, we have a good relationship. I ask him who I'm fighting. He tells me Bubba Jenkins, and it wasn't like he asked me if I wanted to fight Bubba Jenkins. He wanted me to fight Bubba Jenkins, and that's a fight that I enjoyed. I thought I matched up really well, and I wanted to fight the best guys right away. If I'm gonna be someplace, at least rack up the names that I can. You know what I mean? If I'm gonna be in the PFL, okay, why not give me Timur next? I asked for that the second fight, I mean, because if you're gonna win this, you gotta beat the best guys at some point. So I mean, and if you don't, then you didn't beat them. You know what I mean? Then you didn't. So that was just my opinion. I wanted the best guys right away, and I just want to, because it's gonna hold more weight for me. So I'm glad that I get to have Brendan Loughnane next.
Thank you, man.